Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we're here to give you this week's reading recommendations on another crossover between Publishers Week. What is happening? It feels like it's all the time now.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah. But whatever, I mean, if we get something good out of it, then we'll take it, I guess. Mm-hmm. So new comic books come out every Wednesday, so we stay up late or get up early or a little bit of both and read as many as we can so that we can give you, the viewer, our recommendations, and then you can do with those recommendations what you will. I assume nobody listens to them or follows them. They listen to them and they're like, I'll do my own thing.
To be fair, I actually do have a couple people that come in who, if they haven't had a chance to watch the video, always ask like what our picks were.
Right, yeah.
So there are people who care, and we thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for caring. Yeah. All right, well, speaking of caring, which book did you care about enough to bring up to the table, Fred?
Yeah, so my pick this week was Event Horizon Inferno.
Ooh.
And so previously I've had up here, they did a book that was kind of like, it was a prequel about what happened with the crew of the Event Horizon when they went through the jump the first time.
Correct.
And spoiler alert.
All good things.
Oh, only good things. Totally everyone's fine when the ship shows back up in the original movie. Nothing bad happens.
Right.
But then, now with this one, we're kind of taking the opposite approach. We're jumping forward 200 years, and we've got this guy. He's basically this kind of your standard rich person, wants to extend their life, and is super interested in finding this lost technology, because in these 200 years since, they've never been able to replicate the drive that they did back in the original that Dr. Weir made.
So this is a big time jump.
Yeah. So he comes in with this crew of Space Marines. We were talking before. If Event Horizon is the movie Alien, then Event Horizon Inferno is kind of just aliens. Right. And I mean that in a very complimentary sense, because if you're going to like kind of ape something, that's something that you would probably want to ape.
Right.
And so they come in with these basically Space Marines, check the place out. And it's weird because they like mention, they get on the bridge and just like, so the glass is intact here, but there's also a bunch of glass on the floor like it got smashed at some point. So something about the reality within the ship is still like heavily distorted. Like there's like these faint life signs that are being picked up sometimes, but not always. It really captures the haunted house vibe. And there's a different, I forget the artist that was on the previous series, but on here we've got Rob Carey, who has done some stuff for DC in the past. They're going to be the artist on the upcoming Ben 10 comic from Dynamite coming out shortly. Yeah. And they do a really good job of just kind of like capturing this unease and just this kind of like feeling if you're stuck inside this like larger than life thing, then you can't really get out. Which, I mean, that's kind of what you want to feel like if you're stuck in a haunted spaceship.
Right.
Yeah. And without getting too deep into spoilers, there's definitely some other forces at play here. This cover might give you an indication of that. But then there's also maybe some implications about how the ending of the original film went down, that maybe things aren't all what they appear. And you'll just have to read to find out. I will say, unfortunately, we only had the one shelf copy. So if you come in and we've sold out, please let us know. We'll see if we can get a hold of more for you if you're interested. Again, I really enjoyed this first issue. Event Horizon is just one of those, like, I don't know if comfort films is the right way to refer to it, because
it's one you go back to because
it may have supplanted, and make of this what you will, but Alien vs. Predator is my favorite Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
Oh, sure.
Which not a high bar to clear. but I really enjoyed this. Christian Ward continued. It's always cool when you got a guy who turns out to be just as good of a writer as he's an artist.
Sure.
And like I said, Carrie is great on the art here. Really, even more now, kind of looking forward to him on the Ben 10 comic coming up.
Yeah.
Because especially since that one seems to be taking a bit of a more like monstrous turn than some of the aliens.
I was impressed with the solicits that we saw for that one. So, I think we ordered pretty I wouldn't say heavy on it, but, I gave it a little bit of a bump because it looked really cool. So, yeah, very cool.
But no, speaking of number ones that involve a bit of a horror tint to them.
It's an all number one week this week. Yeah.
Your pick this week,
Patrick. I went with Corpse Night, number one from Image Comics. And to continue the kind of movie theme, the writer of this is a director of The Nun 2, as you tell me. So,
yes, yeah. There's a letter at the end where he kind of gets into like how the making that film inspired him to make this comic.
Yeah, so we're in the 1400s in France during the 100-Year War, and Joan of Arc is traipsing around the countryside doing Joan of Arc stuff. But that's not where we're focused in this issue, although we are specifically told that that's happening. In this particular issue, we see a father and his young daughter, and we learn that her mother has passed, and things are really bad for the average French peasant. And then things get worse for this father and daughter, and things take a dark turn. But her father tells her, if your faith is strong enough, anything can happen. Joan of Arc brought a baby back from the dead.
Maybe other things. Maybe other things. From the dead.
Right. Maybe a corpse night. I don't think that's really a spoiler when it's
like once you hit a certain point, like halfway through the book, we're just like, I see where we're going here. Yeah.
So I'll be honest. This is one of those where I had a little extra time at the end of the titles that I had picked out to read. And I thought, well, I'll just give it a flip through. It's got kind of a medieval Spawn kind of vibe. I don't know if it was Image leading me that way or, the cover image here or what. But I picked it up and it was literally a 5-minute read. Like it's not super dense, but the art is really gorgeous.
The art is really good. Like let me check the artist on here.
The whole French countryside and little flowers and that kind of stuff was really fun.
Yeah, Matthew Roberts. I not familiar.
Yeah, such a generic name. It could be anybody really,
But no, just really, if anything, I'm really looking forward to see them on other books after this.
Yeah, because it does a good job of, really clean line work in some spaces. Like particularly, I think drawing children, it's hit or miss. Some people just make them look like weird shrunken adults, and that's creepy. Other people make them look like Precious Moments figures that are moving. That's also creepy. Yeah. This one's really good. Yeah. And so I don't know. It had moments where it had kind of Frankenstein vibes.
Yeah.
There was also some kind of, Walking Dead-ish kind of vibes. And so, I don't know, but also like Highlander-y kind of, you know what I mean? Where you're seeing the European countryside and, whatever. So it just visually, I thought that it was more interesting than I gave it credit for at a glance. And like I said, the story was pretty straightforward, easy to absorb, and just kind of fun. So, and we were talking about, it sets the table for some interesting stuff to happen with a historical fiction where you're taking historical figures that themselves kind of had big tall tales told around them. So I think that automatically gives you a little leeway, but we could see some pretty interesting historical figures showing up in this eventually too.
It does have one of the funniest lines I read in anything this week and as of course we know, God is French.
That
was really good.
This was an interesting book. So I think, medieval fantasy, not exactly right, but it's got some elements of that in there. Historical fiction, horror, it's got action, it's got a bunch of stuff. So I don't judge this book by the cover. Not that the cover is not cool, it's just
I'm doing fair. I judge by the book by cover, and that's why I picked it up.
But I mean it's not it's a little, I don't know.
It's more than just a lumbering armored up creature might make you think it is.
Precisely. Yeah, good. All right. Well, let's go to our consensus pick for the week.
I don't know. I don't think much of a surprise here.
No, probably not.
Yep. It's a Spider-Man Superman.
I seriously thought about doing a spit take there, and then I was like, I know, because you said it wasn't much of a surprise, so I thought it would be funny, but it's coffee, and that would make a terrible mess.
Yeah, you have fun cleaning up Elza product that's in spit range. Anyway,
I have no guts.
Anyway, Spider-Man, Superman. Yeah, it's funny because I really enjoyed the previous issue that they did that from the DC side of things. Now we got the Marvel one, and yeah, it's always, you wonder how many these kind of stories they can tell where they don't have like a whole lot of page space. There's only so much these have to be just kind of like these little one-offs where you can't really do anything afterwards. That you wonder like, oh, like what are we going to do here? And yeah, no, they've been managing to make these super fun. The main story between them, where they're initially trapped under some rebel kryptonites involved, so Superman can't just automatically get them out.
Correct.
And Spider-Man's trying to save them, and it's just like, just talk to me, ask me questions, do anything to keep my mind off the current situation. And it just kind of like allows them to open up to each other in a way that I found really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that they were focusing on, Peter and Clark connecting on a personal level, particularly in that first book, because I think that that's one of the interesting things about both of these characters. One, Spider-Man comics from the beginning really focused a lot on the Peter Parker aspect of it. And Superman comics, he's not really Superman and he's not really Clark Kent. They're both personas that he's taken on. So that's always been kind of an interesting position because really he's Kal-El, but he doesn't even know who Kal-El would have been or is, he's not really a Kryptonian. So he's constantly
trying to fill all these roles, but in trying to be one, he can never fully be the other.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just fun to see that kind of dynamic play off of them, like trying to impart some kind of advice and wisdom to each other, trying to relate, and then also just go beat up a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah, it was really good. And, there were some, I don't know, like I thought that the aesthetics of some of the character meetups that they did throughout these different stories were kind of interesting. The Hobgoblin Steel one was kind of fun.
That one was good. I like that.
Yeah, so it was, And, back to your point about you've got to tell a really short story here. This kind of concise short story format is something that you don't see a lot in comics anymore. We used to get a lot of like backup stories and whatever, where there would just be, a handful of pages for, Doctor Strange at the back of a book or whatever. And we don't see a lot of that anymore in books, but this reminded me of how fun that can be to just not have to invest in an entire not only book-long story arc, but oftentimes trade paperback or multiple trade paperback story arcs. And that can be a slog sometimes. You just want to pick up a story that's just concise and easy to read and just kind of fun. Fun story. So no, spoiler alert, no Jimmy Olsen in this.
Because he got by cars.
Well, but I mean, who knows what pocket reality that was in?
No,
It would have been interesting to see, Jimmy Olsen bump into Peter Parker or something.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, Eddie Brock or somebody like that back in the day, like before he becomes Venom. I don't know, but it was fun.
Yeah. No, so we had the main story, Brad Meltzer and Pepe Larraz. Meltzer is always kind of one of those, like, I have complicated feelings about his writer, but I think he did a really good job.
It was really good.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I wondered why they chose him to do the lead story in here.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Oh, yeah, no, really good. No surprise along those same lines. Pepe Larraz draws the hell out of the main sequence.
So good.
Like, even before this was like announced, when it was just kind of rumored that this was going to be the thing, a lot of people were like, oh, the Marvel is going to have him on the main art, right? Like, he's just kind of their guy right now.
Yeah.
And of course, he knocks it out of the park, like I said.
Yeah, so good.
A bunch of the backup stories are great. I love the Spider-Man Noir and Golden Age Superman one. That one's really fun. I mean, Marcos Marin on art is just always gorgeous.
That was a great choice. Yeah. Yep.
Like you mentioned, the Steel versus Hobgoblin one was super fun.
Yep.
What were some of the other ones? I enjoyed Supergirl and Spider-Gwen.
That was fun too.
Yeah.
And also the Gwen Stacy and Lana Lang one was good. That was fun.
It really drove home that, like, man, I really want Humberto Ramos to draw a Superboy comic at some point.
Oh, that would be great. Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen.
Actually, yeah, no,
that might be really great too. Yeah, and maybe we could do something that's similar to the Jimmy Olsen from the movie where, he's just a ladies' man for whatever reason. Oh, so good. All right, well, we had a bunch of good titles up here this week. We did get a whole bunch of copies of Spider-Man, Superman. Tons of variants, so if you're looking for some fun variants to choose from. But don't sleep on it because we sold out of Superman, Spider-Man right away.
I was going to say, we've got a bunch, but they go, everyone's going to want their copies. Yep. So make sure you come in and get one or let us know that you're wanting to get one.
Or hop on the app and just put it in your cart and buy it before they're gone. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what was close to making the table?
Very close. Very easily could have been up here instead of Inferno. The new issue of Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I was talking before. It might be one of my favorite issues of the entire run so far. There's some stuff that happens and is kind of got explained a bit in here that's just oh, that's super interesting. There's a lot of stuff that's going to come out of that.
I love that they've waited this long in the story arc to start giving us some of the background for the powers that Wonder Woman has, because it's obviously been there this whole time. Once they kind of reveal, because it happens for a couple different things that Wonder Woman is doing, and once they reveal it, you go, oh.
It honestly makes
tracks all the way to the beginning.
I really want to go back and reread the whole series so far and just kind of really see what implications that has on how this has been happening, and just and what happens from here, because it's not something that can really be stopped as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was super good. It's penultimate issue of this arc. Super excited to see what happens next time. I'm going to go with probably nothing well for most of them.
Yeah.
This is definitely feels like the arc where I think Wonder Woman starts to realize really what she's up against in terms of how easy it's going to be to defeat the evils of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was super good. New issue of Superman this week was super good. We were talking before, we've got Prime working at a comic book store. There's some fun bits in there. Him just constantly trying to I want to be a superhero, and every other superhero which is not a fan of that. Yeah. I don't know. What about you, Patrick?
Yeah, Void Rivals continues to be good. We're still in invasion mode there. Captain America was very good. I'm really enjoying Ben Percy on Deadpool. I know that I mentioned this to you earlier, but so Deadpool, you've got to have over-the-top quippy humor, and you've got to have ultra-violence. But sometimes it feels like those are out of balance, or maybe that's all there is to the Deadpool book or to the Deadpool appearance in another book. But I think Percy's doing a really good job of doing that, but keeping it reined in enough that, you can still feel invested in the story, I guess. But there's a great fishing scene in it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy.
I had one other one I just can't remember. Oh, In Your Skin, that was another one I really liked.
Yeah, well, tell me about that.
So it's another kind of horror book, but it's about this woman who's obsessed with this actress. It's all set in India, and
I do remember reading the solicit for this.
Yeah, she's obsessed with trying to meet her, and there's definitely some kind of weird body horror thing going on here. It's kind of unclear exactly how it works yet, but it looks like it's going to get real freaky as it goes.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Is there actual putting on of skin?
Maybe.
Do you remember that Jim Henson Storyteller with the hedgehog guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's always gotten me. So, all right. Well, great week. Couple things. One, thanks for showing up for Superman / Supergirl Day. That was a lot of fun. It was crazy because we had pre-release happening the same day.
Which also, I don't know how much of the overlap here is, but if you showed up for pre-release, thank you for that too.
Yeah, that was crazy. Very good set. The next set is going to be Marvel in the middle of June, so there should be some good crossover there.
If you love Namor, there's a lot of Namor cards.
Yeah,
that are happening.
Or if you just Speedos.
Yeah,
same thing, I guess.
I wonder what the middle of that Venn diagram is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, I don't want to recommend that at all. We've got Free Comic Book Day, so we're going to have some big sales throughout the store. I don't want to, announce them I want to announce them early enough where people can make that choice to show up because the sale is so good. But I don't want to announce it so early that, that it's out there so long that it kind of drops off and becomes less exciting. So we're trying to time that just right. So probably next week on the next video.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That'll be a week away. So about right?
Yeah.
What are we? It's not this weekend. It's the following week.
Yeah. So next week it would be the
So look for those. We'll probably announce it this weekend on social media.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Free Comic Book Day is May 2nd. That's a Saturday. We will open at our regular time, mostly because there's a lot of work that goes into getting set up for it. And we've got Friday Night Magic that'll go till almost midnight the night before. So that doesn't really give us much of a window. I'll be here at 7 a.m. setting up for this thing. So 4 hours is what it's going to take to get ready. We're going to have a bunch of local creators. So somebody who's writing and drawing his own graphic novel. We've got somebody who does a lot of fan art, but it's like crazy good fan art.
You maybe have seen some of it around the store.
Or purchased some of it around the store. And then we've also got, we've got a tandem of creators. One does 3D printing, one does custom painting, including being one of the duo working on the murals in our game room. They're doing custom painted, super cool 3D print items. So they're going to set up and talk to people so that they can kind of get a pulse of what the public is interested in, but then also be able to hand out information so that you can just request something. Because with 3D printing and custom painting, you could say, hey, I'm looking for something along these lines, and be able to get a cool shelf piece or something like that, because it looks like high-end statue. It's crazy stuff. Or maybe you're into D&D and you're looking for some, player character miniatures, or monster miniatures.
When he was showing me yesterday, like one of the dragons he was working on, that thing was sick.
The creatures are super cool, and the mimic that we've got that kind of started this whole thing is just very, very cool. So after a minor technical difficulty, all of that to say, show up for Free Comic Book Day, Saturday, May 2nd, 11 a.m. It's going to be a great day. Face painting for the kids, and free comic books, and sales throughout the store. So it'll be awesome. All right, well, be sure to like, follow, comment, subscribe, share, get on into your local comic book shop. If it's us, awesome. If it's not us, also awesome. Like, it's great to just buy the comic books, because that helps every comic book shop and comic book reader and fan. So we'll be back next week with more Pulp Picks and hopefully not any technical difficulties. Until then, enjoy the reading.
You hear that, everyone? Lock down that demon lover.